DreamHack Open is brought to you by Corsair, Intel, and Monster Energy.
Well, there you have it. We've arrived at the third series of the day. FURIA taking on Yeah, dog. That's what we got going on over here. DreamHack Open Summer. We're going to be keeping our eyes peeled as this one should become pretty violent pretty quick. My name is Trace. Alongside of me will be Maui and that of Christine. We're ready to get this thing started. I would say that Christine, what do you know about Gaming? But I'd rather ask Maui, so please don't be offended.
Gaming. It's a team that's coming up right now in the North American circuit. They just won ESEA Open, actually. I've actually scrimmed against them myself a few times, and they are freaks in the server. And by that, I mean everything good about it. No. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. The way that they play, it's fast-paced, it's individually skilled, and players like RCF are just nasty. He is just, that guy just dominates Rank S every week that it existed. So,
yeah, and it's cool. It's cool the raw firepower that you're saying that they have, but do you feel like they lack a little bit when it comes into the team operations part, when it comes down to getting it done in the server together as a collective rather than individuals?
Yeah, something that I can note of every time I scrimmed against them is that I didn't know what they were practicing, because it felt like they were all just running out as individuals all the time. And I feel like that's come back to bite them. In a couple of the qualifiers that they've played, they've lost to a couple of MDL teams pretty consistently, actually. And you would think that a team like that's coming from South America would have a little bit more structure, especially with some of their founding members, Taco, Fallen. You think that they would implement, a little bit more tactical strategy, but I feel like they've been relying on their individual talent a little bit too much.
Interesting. Now we look at this lineup, and surely there's a lot more to be known about these players, as there's also a big story behind them. Now, the one thing I need to ask you all to do before we do that is to go ahead and get into that Twitch chat itself, and let's get that vote going. This is your one green light to explode the Twitch chat. And by that, I mean spam it to all hell and back, because now we need to figure out who you have your money on, who you have your odds on. And the only way we can do that is by using hashtag FURIA or hashtag Yeah, know what I'm saying, Christine?
I know what you're saying. I hear you, Trace.
Okay, good. So let's continue on then. Let's talk a little bit about but more importantly, let's hear from I believe that this is going to be the best way for us to kind of digest what it is that they're giving us. If we just smile.
We're not digesting anything here
but
today.
If we just smile.
Not yet.
Yeah, boy.
Age old-fashioned thing there, just a smile. Okay, no, fine, I get it.
I did find it interesting, Maui, that you mentioned the fact that the founding members being Fallen and Taco, there'd be a little bit more structure behind that, and I do agree. Maybe though, instead of adopting their playstyle off of MIBR, they're adopting their playstyle a little bit more off of FURIA. So I'm interested to see them going versus FURIA right here, right off the bat, right after our player break, to see if they can actually fight fire with fire.
Which is the interesting thing you think about. You have player break is supposed to constitute not only a mental reset for a lot of different players, but some players and teams will take advantage of that, and they'll try to go back into the workshop and they'll try to get it done in a way that they haven't done before. And those are the people that are the most hungry ones, Maui.
Yeah, that tends to be true. I think it's more or less the fact that Gaming, when they moved to North America, they had to play ESEA Open and they just absolutely dominated it. They know that they don't really have to step up their game just yet to get to MDL. I think they're going to actually even be playing ESEA Advanced next season too. So I think they're just kind of playing to the level of their competition and know that they can get by on what's working thus far. And they even, I mean, they did get to DreamHack Open. So, I mean, they're doing a good job in terms of qualifications and the sort. It's just that they will need to step it up eventually, maybe after that player break, like you mentioned, Trace. That might be the reset they need. Maybe they'll show some strats.
The building blocks, the foundation, it's all set, it's all laid, it's all ready to go. Perhaps now we can hear what has to say.
We take this opportunity because when we stay in the DreamHack, is like a dream comes true, and we are tier 2 team, but I think we can do a lot of troubles in this championship because we have been working for a long time, and I think this tournament will be good for us. Yeah, we have been working in the practice, and we have we did a lot of work in the past. The team is a pretty new team. We have this lineup for 3 or 4 months, but the guys really play very well. Everyone is nervous because it's our first big tournament, but I think we are prepared. The first game is against FURIA, right? My feeling and the feeling with the boys' feelings, I think it's pretty good because we grew up in the same country, and I think the first game with against a Brazilian team, I think we are prepared to play against FURIA.
Well, for your sakes, I hope you are prepared to play against FURIA. They are the ones sitting on the other side of the server, eagerly waiting to get in there and continue to prove some of the domination we saw before the player break, which was, what is the discussion being had here? MIBR, less than, greater to, equal than FURIA, you know? So we look at them now. Obviously, they've kind of cemented the fact that they can show up in the server and they can play the game at the highest of high levels. And honestly, even putting their names up there alongside of being #1 in Brazil. For these guys, that's got to be quite a bit of successful feeling.
Oh, for sure. I mean, 2020 has kind of been the dream scenario for FURIA. The question mark has always been, who's this FURIA team, the little brother of MIBR? And now they've kind of surpassed that storyline. They're kind of the #1 team coming out of Brazil now. And even in North America, they're the team that other North American teams are looking at to kind of adopt their playstyle because Art's shenanigans, it works. And even though his opponents know what to expect, they know that sort of aggression, it's on its way, it still catches the opponents off guard because that's just how crazy it is, right? So I get so excited watching FURIA play Counter-Strike.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things that they're able to pull off in the server. In fact, they say a lot of cool things too. So imagine a world, just think about it for a second. What does FURIA have to say?
Hello guys, I am Art from FURIA and we are playing from Florida, Miami. For me personally, I don't have expectations for any tournament we play. I just feel that we have to play our best and to get better in time because the progress is what is important for us, not the result of the tournament. We actually practiced the whole week, and after 1 week and a half before the tournament ends, the break ends, and we actually try to just get back in shape because that's the most important thing when you get out of a break and you don't play CS for a whole month or something like that. It's just getting back in, hitting headshots, you know. Playing against the game is gonna be quite tough actually, I think. When I get to NA, I don't think they were like such a good team, but they have such young talents. I think it's just easier for them to pick up and just get better. So I think from now on and as of today, they're gonna be way stronger, and I don't think it's gonna be easy like most people think. I think it's gonna be like a tough game. I think they evolved already.
Nothing's easy. Nothing is given to you. FURIA knows that now all eyes are upon them for the Brazilian scene. And will they be the torchbearers? That's what the big question about these guys is. So I guess moving swiftly along is something that we should do. When we start to look at this matchup, we know it's a best of 3. We know kind of where we're going to be playing, or at least we should have an idea. Either way, I think it's pretty apparent that this one could be very brawly.
Yeah, definitely. FURIA and Yeah Gaming, both teams that love to get aggressive in the early round there. The only thing I worry about with Art speaking the way he does of his opponent is that I don't want him to give too much respect. I still want them to carry out their normal game plan, to respect the fact that their opponents do have good mechanical ability, but if FURIA runs their game plan in a standard manner, they should be taking this rather simply. So as long as they just stick to their guns, I think they'll be fine. Just make sure that if they're in a brawl, there's some kind of contingency plan.
Yeah, there's somebody there to kind of break it up. Let's break it up right now and break it into these vetoes. Now, Christine, I'm not sure what sort of headway you've got into this one, but let's talk about maps.
FURIA should be vetoing out that Dust 2. I think, yeah, they're going to come in here and veto out Vertigo. FURIA have picked Vertigo 8 out of their 8 series. So 8 times in a row, they've picked it out. So I'm sure they're going to be vetoing out. Now, FURIA, when they can't pick Vertigo, they have leaned into that nuke. I think they might pick Train here, though. I'm wrong completely, going with this Mirage. And yeah, they do pick out that Inferno. And this Inferno, it should give them a little bit of a chance here, because that's the map that they've had a little bit of success on in the past.
Inferno, yeah. Mirage, Train. What do you got, Maui? Does that smell about right?
Yeah, this looks like a team that's, not been cooking up too much during the player break, but just kind of want to get back on their feet in a way where everybody's going to be comfortable. And yeah, gaming on Inferno, I mean, this is going to be, I think a lot of people, when FURIA were coming up in the North America scene, I like that Christine alluded to the fact that maybe Yeah is drawing from the FURIA blueprint. It's a map that FURIA really dominated early on, and I wouldn't doubt that Yeah Gaming is looking at the FURIA demos, and it's almost going to be a mirror match of sorts, and I'm actually really excited for the maps we have here.
Yeah, interesting stuff. And, just going off of that, I kind of, I'm looking at you guys, and I want to get into somewhere about predictions and like who you really think is going to win. But I really think that neither of you are going to try to convince me that Yeah Gaming is going to win this. Prove me wrong.
It's going to be pretty hard to convince you of that. I do have to agree with Art, the respect that he's going to be showing. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of respect that is, because if we know anything about Art, we know that his definition of Counter-Strike is very different than most players. So I think his definition of respect might be a little bit different too. So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out swinging full force. I'm going FURIA all the way here.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just been straight up lying to us. You're right. Maui, what do you got?
I'm also going to have to go with FURIA. I would be impressed, though, if Yeah Gaming were able to, say, secure 12 rounds across the 2 maps. I think it's going to end in a 2-0. I just want to see them show up on at least one of these maps, show that they can at least fight against FURIA, because FURIA should outplay them in terms of teamwork.
Should outplay them. Now, I'm looking at this, and I think, God, Inferno, and then the statistics and all the numbers. But it's FURIA that's going to win this series. I don't think we have to tell you any other way, shape, or form that that's the way it's going to be, or at least from our eyes. I think we're all pretty level-headed around here on this desk, probably more so than others. So our predictions all in line here. FURIA is going to be the one that beats up on Yeah, but just how bad or how weird could it possibly get is the real question. Oh, wait, I have an answer for that too. It's time to take a look at those Twitch poll results, because that's where some weirdos be hanging out. Let's take a look at the numbers. 93-7. All right,
pretty
then.
Normal folk, pretty normal crowd. It looks like, actually 93%.
Yeah, looks everybody woke up today, had a good breakfast, and really screwed it on straight there for that Twitch prediction, Twitch votes. With that being said, I think we've just about covered it all. So let's stop all this jaw jacking and get in the server and get this first map underway here. Yeah, taking on FURIA, DreamHack Open Summer 2020.
Welcome back, everybody. DreamHack Open Summer 2020 North America with Stronny and Vince. And we go down south today, Vince. We've got a lot of Brazilians on the lineup, and I'm pretty stoked for this one. I don't know how excited Gaming should be with a Titan like FURIA in front of them, but all the while, I think this map's going to be really explosive, and I have high hopes that they can give us a good fight like Maui alluded to.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily going to be the closest of games, but I think it's going to be a very entertaining game. So grab some popcorn, guys, strap yourselves in. It's going to be an all-Brazilian affair with, Gaming, Scrawny. I would say they've got a bit of a point to prove here. FURIA leapfrogging to the top of the Brazilian scene. And one of their cousins have a real shot here to cause quite the upset and turn a whole bunch of heads in the process.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what they've got in store for us. I'm just excited to see some of the individuals. That's always, at sometimes, the most enjoyable part of the game. Being surprised by newer names. Yuri, he's going to waste no time. We talked about that interview, whether or not Art was going to give them the respect they deserved, but Yuri, he's got other ideas. Screw your respect. I've got opening frags. He's looking for a second with teammates by his side, but it's Patterson and Faston to bring it back with a kill apiece. K-Serrato from the top of Banana, and Yuri still inside of the T setup, doing what he does. 3 versus 2 advantage here for the CTs, now flexed to 1 better. It's IDK left over, and I don't know what he's going to do.
Nor do I, and nor does Vinny, clearly, because he's just had his head rattled with 1:05 on the clock. IDK making moves. Doesn't have the bomb. Going to be a downside. Smoke now clearing, though. Still a Molotov in the hands of Yuri. He can toss this down if he so chooses. If they line up, this could go into the hands of IDK, but instead, K-Serrato holds fast, and FURIA can claim first blood on Inferno.
Yes, sir. And, we touched very briefly yesterday on the format of this DreamHack Open in comparison to the LAN events we're used to, best of 3s in the opening group stages. And that doesn't bode well for the potential of a Gaming upset in terms of match result. But in terms of map result, well, at least we've landed on Inferno, where clearly they'd like to play. I just think that there's too much of a gap in between some of the firepower. That's what we're led to believe. And, well, we'll just have to wait and see. But so far, Vinny, 2 kills here in the buy-up after pistol round win. K-Serrato, no respect. Henny's got an SMG as well. They are milking the cash cow for all it's got. It's bone dry by the time they've all died. 2-0 for FURIA to start.
Yeah, about that respect, Art. I think we're going to see a lot more plays like that. They are known for their ruthless aggression. The real fact comes in, though, with FURIA. It's whether you can control that aggression, because I feel like at one point their reputation began to precede them. A lot of teams realized, okay, they're a very aggressive team. They're going to go for these wild, audacious peaks, and they started walking into these traps. So you'd imagine that, Gaming have done their homework. They know what's coming up. Full AK purchase on the books. And playing a little bit slowly, just allowing those Molotovs to deplete before they start to push their way up into Banana. There is a boost up there, and IDK couldn't see that Art was perched with the MP9, takes 49 damage for his troubles, and FURIA standing tall in Banana, still have it under control.
IDK looks to give chase. Grenades sail over top of him, and he's kept the CTs honest. That's 2 men back behind the sandbags, just buying time. Holding off, and again, with the SMGs, they don't need to gamble too much. But there are still rifles in the mix for FURIA. Bomb's been left in spawn from We hit that minute mark, and, well, they've done enough to contest towards Banana. Now they're looking to take this bracket control and size up the A site. But, of course, FURIA 1 step ahead of the game, Vince. They've moved that second player and Vinny from B site over towards Arch. That's going to bolster K-Serrato. Double MP9 on that side of the A site. But a second bit of movement. Seems like Vinny's going to double back as Bomb comes towards A.
Is heading over on the A side. K-Serrato with the MP9 on Arches, using that smoke as a bit of a sanctuary. When you look at these 3 MP9s, when it gets a bit later into the round, it's really where they're going to start to be a nuisance, and that grenade doing significant damage. K-Serrato finishes it off, sprayed through the smoke, nearly claiming a bunch of frags. They're now down to just 2 HP, but now they're starting to get some kills over on the T side before Yuri shuts it down with a 3K. And FURIA's bonus round really could not have gone any better.
Yeah, perfect. Double AK save This position here from Yuri, gap in the smoke. That's what cost Dumao and RCF. They were very much fixated on fighting the player over towards the moped instead. And had they got that kill, then they could have avoided the pit player, gotten into the post plant, and who knows what happens. But I know what has happened. Yuri is off to a flying start. 7 kills, 0 deaths. We had that bottom mid play in the pistol. We've had the pit performance in the most recent, and Henny, he is not going to let off the gas pedal, even despite Gaming having the ability to just force the issue here and rush. Art down banana with his teammates by his side, just looking to deny anything for Gaming. Vince, they didn't even have a chance to breathe. They didn't have a chance to catch their breath. They're trying to set up through alt mid, and nearly half of them already dead.
Yeah, and that's it, really. When FURIA are feeling it, man, they are like that boa constrictor of Counter-Strike teams. They do just slowly but surely wrap themselves around you. Nothing slow about this round, of course. Tatterzin comes in with a second, but it's mainly the 2 SMGs that have fallen down. So they're able to retain 2 of their AKs, and now they can look to upgrade one of those to an AWP, or potentially even 2 if they so choose. There is an AWP picked up already for RCF on Gaming. But yeah, man, like this FURIA team seems like they've woken up and they're feeling like they want to get this one done fast. And we do have the double ops coming into play early on.
I think Potter said it very nicely on the desk. He said, you know, despite what Art may say, he has a different definition of Counter-Strike than a lot of other people. So I think his definition of respect could also waver. But it's over towards the top of banana that right now we have IDK inside of smoke. Check that out. He's got 2 CTs just by him, and he could decide to pull the trigger or wait. Executes Art as he takes down his teammate. So Art, he's not going to be too upset about that. IDK could have done far better for Gaming, but it's just this minute moment of timing that comes back to bite him. Now we've got heavy numbers for FURIA towards B. 3 players stacked up. A solo defense at the A site in Yuri. And time. Time has been gifted to Gaming off of that original clash. I think, you know, if we're looking at FURIA's pace, Vince, and if we're looking at them just kind of being super aggressive, it's going to be at the starts of rounds. They are more than content to just slither back. As you said, the boa constrictors of Brazilian CS. They'll just wait. They'll let you walk into their nest. And that's what they're setting up here on this B site as Vinny comes back over.
They do their best to put those poisonous fumes, though, to get FURIA out of that hidey hole. But instead, they're going to be using that smoke as a bit of cover. Up comes IDK. First pick goes the way in this confrontation of Gaming. But Henny up to the task for 1. He gets drilled down from the AK-47. More than enough time to get the comfortable plant down. And our Case Serato and Yuri moving together as a united force. It looked like this round would be slipping away from Gaming, but they have their hand back on it. And IDK, watching the close angle of the AWP, misses his shot, but it's a crossfire. It's a trap, and Tatterzin is going to claim up and double up. It's 2 kills for him, and Gaming finally on the scoreboard.
Yeah, full house between IDK and Tatterzin. 3 and 2 kills apiece, respectively. Very cool to see them break through what was a forceful FURIA from the very start of this game. I mean, the tempo, the pace, it's what you expect. And I think, you know, Gaming, they're coming into this. They've got game tape to prepare for, not only as Brazilian teams themselves, but I'm sure they have a respect, an appreciation, and a near mirrored situation sometimes when it comes to playing like FURIA. The thing is, you can prepare for FURIA all they want. Once the game starts, that's when you realize what really is in front of you, the beast that is Art at times. He goes ahead and gets the op shot, doubles down onto Dumao, and he's still looking for more. They're going to give it to him, and Fastzin takes a chance that may have just paid off. They get a kill back. Vinny swapping over to the op takes a bit of a chance here because he's also alone, and the grenade is fantastic. Just dunks down on him. IDK is going to drop the smoke as well. Bomb needs to be picked back up, Vince, so it's not like they can make their play off of this, but they have telegraphed a bit of B presence, and that draws the second CT over.
And this is allowed because that bomb was dropped, because they couldn't punish and pierce through onto the side. Yuri joins on Case Serato, and the shutdown comes into effect. IDK and Fastzin, the only 2 assailants from the T side. And FURIA get back into winning ways. And I completely agree with you. There is a lot of information out there for Furia, but when you look at the discrepancy between the two teams and the kind of opposition they typically go up against, the last 5 games for you had Zapo Gods, we casted them yesterday, Positive Vibes Only, New England Whalers, Triumph, and Swedish Canadians. None of those are exactly teams that are jumping off the page at you and saying they're tier 1. Meanwhile, Furia, Cloud9, Liquid, MIBR, and Evil Geniuses twice. As I'm speaking, 2 kills get traded, and it's an even trade at that.
Just the Desert Eagles. Just the Desert Eagles. Insta headshot. Dumao, hello. Oh, and a second through the smoke. Fare thee well, Vinny, who's probably going to be a little frustrated with the nature of his deaths. Last round falling to that sailing grenade, and this time the stunning Desert Eagle, but a gap in the smoke. And so they follow suit with flashbangs. Yuri, he's going to try to put that damage through it, and he does soften up Dumao. Don't forget, these players, they didn't come in well-equipped, but they all still have Kevlar. So those picked-up weapons, not going to be screwed over too badly if they take a little damage. With the economy on the line for some of the men of Furia, I think they just decide to call it quits. They have to forfeit an eco round win. That's a huge opening for Yeah Gaming. For a team that had struggled on their buys just due to the nature of Furia's talent, I think obviously proven by the level of opponent they usually play. You brought it up, perfectly. I could go ahead myself and study all of Mike Tyson's fight tapes for the next 2 years of my life. But the moment I walk into that ring, Vince, it takes one punch and I'm done. And I think that's a fair analogy here for Yeah Gaming. How long have they been watching Furia, wishing they could be Furia, to now today get a chance to beat them? It's not going to be easy, but when you get a round like that in the first 7 of the first map, it's got to feel good. Yeah Gaming has to make the most of what they just caused on an awesome Desert Eagle round.
Oh, no doubt at all. And they'll know that Furia's economy is within grasping reach now. They'll know with that save and the fact that they have been just gradually whittling away kills here and there. But at the end of the day, if they win this round, they are straight into this half, and it's looking pretty good. Art, though, gonna break those hearts. IDK then reeling out of the round, as will Demand. Wouldn't you know it, it's aggression from Art. No huge surprise there. RCF at least will cull his killing spree and put it to an abrupt end, but you have to feel that damage on Banana has already been done, and Yeah Gaming with their back against the wall one more time.
Mind you, they have proven to us they can win with lesser weapons. They've proven to us they can win with lesser numbers. We had that 2vX unfold to them to the B site. See if they can pull it out of thin air yet again, but I'm going to notice this trend already. We are very passive with our bomb placement, aren't we? How many times have we had to see these mid-round moments come to a halt, not by their own accord, but rather by the placement of the bomb? They leave it back, and I want to see how long that lasts moving forward on this T side. Shot from Henny could have been a collateral. Still, not going to help the movement of Tadizin. He has to force the issue, jumps into the sniper scope of Henny. And I mean, as much as we can praise the aggression of Art, Vince, this has been the storyline of Furia in their recent online success, is that right next to Art with his aggressive rifling, SMGs, whatever it damn well pleases to be, it's Henny on that op that also makes a difference. He has looked really on form in this lineup. It's such a cool slot for him to have just taken over and really made a name for himself yet again. Another wave of success for Henny in recent months. And I'd say thanks to Furia's system, thanks to their style, he slots right in with that pizzazz. But with 10 seconds left over, Henny himself will close this one off. He's gotten 3 kills last round, sitting pretty at 9-3.
Henny's a really interesting case, isn't he? Because I remember back in Tempo Storm, he came on the scene. He had this incredibly flick-centric kind of approach where sometimes he'd miss fairly straightforward shots, but then you give him a flick and he'd just land like a 360 no-scope. It was absolutely ridiculous what he was capable of, especially on maps like Train. Then across to Immortals, of course, where he had a bit of an up-and-down affair. And to start off his career in Furia, it was a little bit slow. But absolutely, he has stepped it up. He is definitely fitting into that role that a lot of Brazilian fans would have been very passionate and very happy to see him come in and very excited to see him come into this roster. I'm glad it is clicking into shape. And you know, you did also raise another very interesting point there, Scrawny, that the bomb placement from is a little bit suspect. But I can't help but feel that's as a direct result of not knowing what the hell FURIA are going to do next. They've already pushed down middle. They've pushed down banana multiple times. From Gaming, they're probably shell-shocked. They're like, what the hell are we supposed to do? If we push the bomb too far and we lose it, we just lose the round, you know? They're really getting into their minds.
Yeah, you've hit it on the head. I'd rather leave bomb and spawn and have to go get it than lose it at the top of banana. So definitely I get behind it. They're playing protective. I respect that. You know FURIA's coming out of the gates, flying down banana, hitting you in the face with utility where they can. So just hold off. But speaking of getting hit by utility, great grenade here inside of the apartments. Softens up Fastin and Tatizin as they look to go into the 5-man A split. And FURIA, they're sizing up banana so they can justify the 3-man hold. Easy first shot for Henny as Fastin walks into his own death unsuspectingly. Dumao decides to stick around. And IDK is close on smoke. If Art feels a little too aggressive, he's going to walk right into that MAC-10. That's an opening for the SMG, but he tries to swap guns. A fatal error. K-Serrato clamps down as Henny doubles up, and now it's the 4v2 left over.
Yeah, and these leftovers feeling very cold and grim. Tatizin and Dumao completely isolated from one another, and it's all well and good that Tatizin is making moves up banana, but his bomb carrier is nowhere close. Now he's starting to move away, but that 5 HP means a stray bullet and he's a goner. And Vinny realizes he susses out the situation to perfection. He should be tailor-made in the correct position to strike. Down goes the bomb, and with it, surely the round will follow. I doubt Tatizin will even go for this, to be honest. When you look at the economy of Gaming, it's so rough. He has an AK, full utility, and Kevlar. Maybe just hold on to that. You got 10 seconds. You don't want to die after time, whatever happens.
I think we're going to fall into the pace now. The pace of the match has been set by FURIA in the first 10 rounds already. I mean, it was in the pistol that they were already trying to stampede through by rushing down mid. And again, you know, this is that reality of the situation. Everybody has a game plan until they get punched in the face. And Gaming are now a little battered. They're a little bruised. They're spitting blood and the eyes swollen Vince, but they're still able to fight back. We've seen them not shy away from certain moments of aggression. I'd want to say that MAC-10 play on the close smoke to catch Art, that's the perfect counter to what you know is coming. If Art sees a gap in a smoke, the man's going to check it. And you punished him for it. But then you also punished yourself by haphazardly jumping through to try and swap to the M4. It's like if you're going to punish mistakes, make sure you don't make mistakes of your own. That's the next layer of gameplay we need to see from if they're going to stand a chance.
Yeah, they really need to deal with this banana as well, because time and time again, FURIA's utility on banana has been exceptional. It's been pristine. They just get a freebie of a kill into IDK after he takes some shrapnel from nades and then finished off by the Molotov. And now they're going to have to try and pincer their way through arches, which is being watched. Eagle Eye from K-Serrato shows his hand, dips out there, gets his second. And now he has the Overwatch from Henny. Going to be able to peer in with the AWP. He turns tail, takes out Tatizin. And Dumao, last man standing, solid 1D onto K-Serrato. Spicy shot. But considering he's a 1v3 with 15 HP, I'm not fancying his chances. He does at least have the bomb, but no utility to his name. If he can pierce into the head of Henny, hey, maybe there is a way forward after all, considering the Art is still on the arch side and Vinny is watching middle. So this 1v1 actually could turn into a bomb plant if Dumao plays his cards right. But he's making noise. He runs out and he gets punished.
I want to say that right there is a new layer of Henny at times, right? We wanted to talk about his career across different iterations, different rosters. You said the up and down part of playing for Immortals, right? Is I think that team maybe had a bit too much, you know, there's different energies in life, Vince. I like to think of myself as like, you know, like I'm a good evil in a way. And, well, Immortals was maybe a bit too much for a guy like Henny to really, truly be his best. Whereas FURIA is, I would say, still fired up when things are going well and hungry when things aren't going their way, but they never let things get too wild. And I think that comes down to Yuri. Incredible coach, keeps his troops in line, and it works well. You know, Henny's patience in pit pays off, and Vinny's position in Cubby does too. But there's a route now open by with bomb in tow, not sitting back in spawn, no. Rather, right behind this hard entry of Fast. However, there's the second sniper, Art. He finds that angle through Arch. Henny gets the kill off Pit, and Tadazin left in tatters as it's just him in apps waiting for something to happen. Minute on the clock, no bomb, and 4 opponents to take.
Yeah, not too many positives are there to look at. Art with a 3K started pretty slow into this game, was 004 at one point, but now, oh, sorry, I think he was 0-3 and 4. I think he had a ton of assists, but no kills. But now he's up to 8. Henny, 15 kills, and K Serato at 11. For the ADR, 2 players over 100. That's going to be Yuri and K Serato, with Henny and Art just below them. And Vinny, bottom of the scoreboard, but again, Scrawny, he's just not been called upon. Like, everyone else has just been feasting. He's just been sat there chilling. He's been having a good old time.
That's what Vinny does best. You know, I always feel like if Vinny is the guy you don't have to talk about, then everything's going well. Dumao gets another Desert Eagle headshot. I want to say that's 4 of his 5 frags by way of Deeg headshot. So at least he's got that going for him, Vince. But Vinny just chilling. We want to talk about his composure. The guy's sitting behind a Molotov, smoked off with 4 Ts ahead of him. And he's still not jumping the gun. He's not wildly spraying through. He's just buying time. So even in the most chaotic moments of any given round, Vinny's cool. Vinny's composed. Vinny's just chilling. And so are FURIA now, Vince. 10 rounds to 2. Yeah, gaming, they gave us something to talk about at the start of this half, but the more rounds they lost by way of FURIA's aggression and tenacity, the more I think FURIA burrow into the minds of their opponent and remind them who's boss.
Oh, yeah. And there can be no question of who's bossing this map. It is FURIA. And again, banana control has been established. It's been locked down. There's no way forward for EA Gaming. I mentioned this earlier. The banana has just been so damn strong, and they keep trying to push it. And I can respect that, but maybe not right off the bat. Maybe try and retake later on into the game and set up for that second mid potential push down middle. Let them exploit some of those weakened grenades and weakened players on the B side later on, rather than just keep running into banana, and you're just seeing the same result over and over. RCF does get 2. It's solid work from the man, but he pushes in, not anticipating Vinny to be stood there laid in wait, and they pay the ultimate penalty again. It's 11-2, and Scrawny, the way this is going, I could easily see a 13-2 half.
Yeah, I feel you there, Vince. Absolutely. Especially not with a full buy on the cards for the last 2 rounds of Yas T side. So going to have to take one on the chin with a melange, a collective of upgraded pistols. CZ in appearance, Tech 9s, love to see them. Desert Eagles, the best. So let's see what they have in the face of adversity. FURIA just standing inside of fire because Art does what Art wants to, damn it. And he tries to go for the op shot, but it is a bit of a miss. IDK kind of gambling his life away. There it is. Art doubles back into it, follows up with the connection. Now it's Yuri at the top of mid to be pressured by the last 4 players of Yeah. That's all they have, Vince. They've lost that banana control because this is what happens if you don't fight for it. This is the thing with FURIA. They have such an aggressive stance on banana, and they're so good at pressuring you. And if they pressure you away, they'll take it. But RCF, he's got himself a deadly Deagle headshot. With another player tucked in the cubby, they make audio. And Vinny, he is so good at being that snake in the grass. He just lunges out when you let your guard down, gets the 2 kills before Dumao responds with an op frag, a bomb retrieval, and 50 seconds to attempt the 1v3 clutch.
Well, he has a couple things going his way. Dumao also has the Tech 9, so if he wants to get hot and heavy and get rapid and mobile, he can switch across his sidearm, but he's keeping the AWP. He's keeping it out, but K Serato with the wide swing is going to get FURIA 10 rounds in the lead. Yeah, gaming, they've had chances, Scrawny. It's one of those games where, yeah, it looks really grim if you look at the overall scoreline, but they've had these 1v2s, these 2v2 scenarios. It's just, this is where FURIA's superior experience, superior aim is really shining through.
Yeah. One of these teams can beat Evil Geniuses. One of these teams can beat the New England Whalers. That gap is massive. And I would just say that, again, kind of like what we had yesterday with our opening in Group A. Group B is top heavy. FURIA are finalist favorites, if not favorites to win the whole damn event. So why would a team outside of the top 50 be able to really contend too well You know, we were hoping, as Maui said, maybe 12 rounds across the series to favor of Yeah, and that's still possible, but it would have taken a better T side to convince me. Fastin goes down in what is now a 5 versus 2 to close out the half. They get some sort of an answer. They're both down on short, and now they're both sent packing. 13 rounds to 2 on the CT side of Inferno. Blink, and you would have missed it. We'll be back after the break for the second half of the first map of the first day of the second BO3.
Total pleasure, that's what I want from you. Total pleasure, do you feel it too? Total pleasure, that's what I want from you. Come on, girl, are you feeling it? Feeling it? Ever since I saw you, ever since you caught my eye, I never known a woman who's so absolutely fly. Ever since I met you, no one else will do. I get a little crazy when I think of you. Total pleasure, that's what I want from you. Total pleasure, do you feel it too? Total pleasure, that's what I want from you. Come on, girl, are you feeling it? Feeling it? You can make the sunshine anytime you please. You can start a fever that will bring me to my knees. We can build a mountain from a grain of sand, 'cause we can make it, yes we can. Total pleasure. Total pleasure. Total pleasure. Every time I think of you. Yeah, girl. Total pleasure, that's what I want from you. Come on, girl, are you feeling it? Feeling it? Total pleasure, that's what I want from you. Total pleasure, do you feel it too? Total pleasure, yeah, that's what I want from you. Come on, girl, are you feeling it? Feeling it? Every time I think of you. Yeah, girl. Total pleasure, that's what I want from you. Come on, girl, are you feeling it? Feeling it?
About as lopsided as a half can get, 13 rounds to 2, but I believe anything is possible, and I was reminded of that today, Vince, when I opened up my very first Counter-Strike knife ever. 5,000 hours, hundreds of crates. Finally got it. If I can do it, you can too. Come on, Yeah Gaming. Give us something to talk about. Give something to FURIA to make them sweat. Or is K Serato going to pop right up and kill you all? Seems not. He gets 0 kills as he tucked down into Cubby. CT's doubling back to B because FURIA have used their own spawn against them, Vince. There's a lot of bodies over here with the bomb in tow. No comfortable cross for the T side either. They're going to try with the flash. Can they get past? Right now, they're stuck in no man's land.
They're stuck, but they also have Yuri, who's moving into library, and I think this is going to facilitate the rotation back onto the A side. So this is effectively going to mitigate this 3-player stack on B, leaving it down to Tadazin. Is he going to be able to pick up any frags here? If he falls down for nothing, this round could slip away. He takes one out, but gets traded back, and Henny holding the line over on the B side, stalling Fatsin for as long as possible, who is now going to be peeking into Henny's crosshair, and a 3K goes the way of the man we were talking about before, who had a sterling effort in the first half of the AWP, 20-4, and FURIA 14-2 in the lead. This could be a fast one.
It's wild, Vince. We've had some super lopsided showings, you and I, throughout this NA event thus far. Art? Vince, I see a P90.
Oh, I love that. Of course it's Art. Who else is it going to be?
He bought a they have families, Vince. This man goes for the P90. Let's see what... Oh, Yuri just gets shut down by it. Now Art's able to respond. The rack attack of the P90 only gets him one, but that's a lot of damage. Faston dropped to a single point of health. Quick, someone hit him with a flashbang. That'll be worse than the P90's sting.
Oh, I'd love to see that in competitive play. The good old flash kill, or just a HE impact.
Yeah.
Not sure if we're going to find that, though, because Fastin is playing smart, to be fair. He is low HP, so he's hiding behind the box on the site, which is pretty much locked down from any potential arcing throws of these nades. He may get shoulder peeked, though. There is a player in the mini pit who is watching his side. There is time to burn for FURIA. They don't have to rush in, but they're going to be claiming all the kills all the same. IDK, last man standing with the Deagle. Vinny is low, so he is susceptible to getting tapped down anywhere on his body. The rest of this team, though, is going to be in the right position to fend that off, and they now have 13 map points. We had some fast games yesterday as well, Scrawny.
Yeah, that's what I was going to... thank you for bringing that back up. I was going to mention how we had really, really strong starts from certain individuals yesterday. With Liquid, it was Grim, and then we had Twist in the second map, just pedal to the metal. Chaos showed us that Zeppa and Leaf are still the real deal on their own respective maps between Mirage and Nuke. And now today, we start off our other fresh BO3, first map of this entire group. And hey, it's Henny with a ridiculous ratio for the moment. Art, oh my God, through smoke, he finds RCF on that P90. Two CTs hiding inside of the apartments, trying to call for help. Please, Mom, he's got a P90. And Yuri's got their back. So all too easy here for the T side. A bit of a masterclass performance from FURIA, just showing us why they are, at the moment, arguably, the best team in North America.
They're definitely up there. They're definitely the best team in Brazil. I think we can certainly lock that one in. And you know what's truly devastating, Scrawny? That was the pick of, they picked
Oh my God. Yeah, I had kind of forgot about that, Vince. I'm not going to lie to you. That doesn't paint a pretty picture, but I know a couple pretty faces that will be back with you after the break. I'm not talking about us. We'll see you guys on the follow-up, but we'll have our analysts in between. Stay tuned, folks. It's DreamHack Open Summer.
So we had this little matchup just happen, and it happened to be on Gaming's map pick of Inferno, and then these other guys showed up, right? And they're like, hey, guess what? We're going to be taking that map. They're called FURIA. And boy, did they do it. 16-2. They absolutely pulverized through Gaming right here on their map pick. And that does leave us wondering as to how the next map could go, considering it is Mirage and it is the map pick of FURIA. So all things considered, everything's out in the open now, and there's no denying that FURIA are the favorites in the server. That would lead me to bring you back and welcome you appropriately to the DreamHack Open Summer. My name is Trace, alongside of me are Maui and Potter, and we're ready to talk a little bit about this game, I think. Right?
Yeah, just maybe. It was so quick. If you blink, you would have missed it. And I feel like might have missed a lot this game. They missed some shots. They missed some opportunities, maybe. FURIA just manhandled them, all things considered. Henny barely even died this game.
4 deaths,
That's pretty wild
ADR.
Well, let's talk about it right here, right? Because, you kind of alluded to it, or basically you just flat out said it. Henny is your favorite guy. He's your go-to. He's your favorite player. But why is that, Maui?
Yeah, Henny has always been this character that really expresses himself on streams. I feel like he just... Okay, I played with him before in Pugs, and he likes to drink and Pug late at night, so it's fun. It's fun to do that with him. And another thing about him is that he just is so fearless. He's one of those just cannot stop, always flying at 100 miles an hour Opper. And he is so exciting because he'll sometimes take risks that other Oppers wouldn't take, but he just trusts his ability. And when it works, it looks incredible. But when it doesn't work, it leaves you grimacing a little bit, you know, a little bit of a cringe there. But I think he's really found his own on this FURIA roster. And I think he was kind of building towards that with LG before this lineup, that he kind of started reeling himself in a little bit, started realizing that maybe I should be realistic about my expectations as a player. But man, when he didn't care, that's when it was a lot of fun.
There's a lot of fireworks, Christine. And, you know, interestingly enough, we could talk about how, you know, those former projects also consisted of his twin brother being involved. You know, this hasn't been only the Henny show. This has been Henny and his twin brother, you know, making their way through the ranks of the past couple of years. And now they've been there. Now they've established themselves. So what do you think about Henny?
Absolutely. And, you know, I have to agree. I liked Henny's craziness, just kind of having that almost art style before art was even a thing. But I got to agree, Henny nowadays, lately, I always say he looks a lot more mature. He's matured over the years. And I really appreciate that about him, because at any moment he can still snap and he can still turn around completely on his heels. But now he's got that mature aspect. He's a little bit more methodical. He survives. He's a survivor, man. 4 deaths, that's ridiculous. So having an Opera with the most expensive weapon on the server who's able to do kind of everything, but also surviving, that's kind of the best of both worlds, I think, or all worlds.
And speaking of all worlds, or even both worlds, even bald worlds, you guys want to talk about that a little bit? Because I've got a bald friend that has just signed with Team Liquid. Now, we could talk a little bit more about this game, but obviously keeping you, the community, up to date is something that I think we can pride ourselves on doing as well. So without any further ado, allow me to catch you up to speed that Moses, that's right, Jason Lil Momo O'Toole, has been signed to Team Liquid as their new head coach, replacing Adren. And let's kick this off with you, Christine. I want to hear your thoughts. You've known Jason pretty much his whole life and yours, so talk to me.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I think Jason is going to do great things over there. Jason is another one of those mature members of the CSGO community, CS community. He's been in it for so long. And, you know, when Jason and I used to live together, man, we grinded out Counter-Strike almost every single day. So I know how much passion he has for this. So I'm excited to see him bring NA another major. And I fully believe he's going to do it.
So you're on the train. You're buying
I'm on the train, dude. Yeah. If I had a whistle right now, I'd blow the whistle, but I don't have one.
Blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle.
Yeah, okay. I can feel that's a vibe right there. Look, we're about to head into a break, Maui, and you know we're going into Mirage. I don't know that there's a world here for Yeah Gaming. Is that easy to say? I
said it would be amazing if we're able to accomplish 12 rounds this game. I don't know if they're gonna make it. I don't know.
Two is cutting it close. So we'll keep our eyes on that. We're gonna go to a break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna jump right into Mirage, the second map here between FURIA and Yeah Gaming.